Hi. So a lot of us have watched Nigerian movies, movies that we produce locally. And we have seen some of the issues that, surround the storyline, the production, the distribution, and everything that goes into the business of filmmaking. We all have our complaints when we watch Nigerian movies. Some persons say that any movie that has no native doctor, no mother-in-law, and no pastor, the movie is fantastic. But then you also have people, like me, complaining about some movies we watch time after time, and everything the whole movie is talking about is marriage, infidelity, cheating, and the rest of it. Today on the show, we're going to be looking at what we have decided to call Where Did We Go Wrong in Film Production. My name is Kamos, and this is Late Night Conversations. I have with me one of our, big time filmmaker. I have met her a couple of times on set, and I met her in a different way. And from what I have seen and some of the things that she has also done, she is one person that is set to bring in new ideas, new ideologies, and even advice on some of the things that we can do better in the film industry. My name is Kamos. When we come back from this break, you'll be meeting my guest. It's still Late Night Conversations. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Late Night Conversations with Kamos. And just like I mentioned in the beginning, as I opened, I have this nice, I'm always bringing some nice ladies to this show. And I'm sorry for you because you're not the one sitting on this chair. You can beef me if you like. I don't look like I care, right? That's nice. So on today's episode, it is still me sitting down with this beautiful lady that I met her on a set of a TV show. And the energy that she brought in, trust me, that energy is what I am sure she's bringing on today's episode of Late Night Conversations that we are going to be talking about. Where did we go wrong? Welcome, Lady D. Her name is Dolly, and I call her Lady D. And when you look at her right now, you agree with me that she is that, Lady D.
Thank you.
Welcome to this show. You look great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good.
Because
even though we caught you unaware, it's fine, but you still look good all the same. We always pray that God should just bless us according to your looks.
Abi?
Yes. So that when, God looks at your looks and like, man,
take more.
Please take more.
Take more.
Nice. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Been a while after we recorded that show.
Yeah, you vanished now.
No, they hustle.
You leave me for streets.
We enter streets.
You abandon me for which street?
No, na street. No, you did the other street. I did the street.
All street na
street ready. All right, welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Yeah, in the course of some of our offline conversations, and I heard you mention something about your training in film making and all of that, and it occurred to me that a whole lot of us that are into this filmmaking thing don't even go to school. How do you think that comes to play in the quality of the films that we put out in the TV screens?
Okay. When I first got back to Nigeria, I remember doing my very first film. Somebody told me, one of the crew members, he was like, when I was just telling them, I spent so dollars, paying for school, blah blah blah. And they're like, that money if I don't use and blow for here now, why you go to waste time?
Yes.
When he said that, I was like, I thought about this thing for weeks.
You were tempted to
it was bothering me. I felt like I was stupid. But because I know myself, and then over the years, every day I go, on film sets, I see the reason why I spent that money.
Okay.
It shows in my work.
Yes.
It shows in my interaction with people.
Yes.
Everything you are shows in whatever you do.
Great.
So now, I've not seen him ever since. The day I will see him, I will tell him, you know what, you're a madman.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything there because I was just, fresh.
Yes.
Just come back,
Trying
everything.
to adjust.
Yeah, everything was just
So
strange.
some of those experiences, do you think it has been able to influence your participation in any production?
Greatly in all my productions.
And how did the crew or the filmmaker you worked with how receptive were they of the ideas of the new feel that you were bringing into the roles that you played, either as cast or as a crew member?
So, humans generally, I think everybody, down to even a baby, wants respect.
Yes.
As a professional, if you have respect, it shouldn't be just to your A-listers. It should be for everybody, down to the PA on set. So that's one thing I try to do. In my first production, I remember vividly one A-lister that I used then. She told me something. She was like, why are you giving me the same food with crew members? And I'm like,
wow.
Okay. And she was like, you're new to the system. You don't know how it works here, blah, 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 blah. I don't do that. Everybody on my set eats the same thing, down to myself.
So for some of them who are the celebrities,
they feel
the crew are lesser humans,
obviously,
than the cast or the A-listers.
Okay, so in film production, there's something they call above the line and below the line.
Yes.
Now, we all know, okay, this person is above the line. So what I do is, I can't say because you're above the line or you're below the line, I'll now go and buy Iya Basira for this one and go and buy Mega Chicken for the other one.
Then some people will purge, some
do you
people
get
will speak well.
Exactly. Now, those so-called below the line, without them, your production will not function well.
Yes.
If I buy this food for, A-lister, A-lister A, I'll buy you 2 meat because you are above the line. For my crew, because you're below the line, I'll probably just buy you 1 meat. But it's still the same place I will buy from. I won't trek to this place to go and buy for this person, and then I don't do that.
So what about, do you have some technical knowledge that you've been able to impact in some of the films that you happen?
Definitely.
And did they even welcome it in the first place? Because I know that here we can shoot movie in 2 days and we shoot series. No, to be honest with you, and I'm also guilty.
I agree.
If you like, come and carry me here.
Yeah.
I have shot a series within 5 days, 15 episodes, and we knocked it out. So I know that one thing we do here is try to shoot fast, just to cut costs, because it's always a low budget production. What technical skill do you think you introduced that try to enhance some of the projects you've touched?
Okay, so what I do mostly, I try as much as possible not to overwork people, because the problem with shooting 10, 100 scenes in one day, when your production comes out, you will see it. You might think you won't see it, but you will see it. By the time you've gotten to like maybe scene 19 or 20, everybody is tired. Then they just want to shoot. Set the camera back, one angle. They'll shoot everything the same angle. Then nobody is thinking creatively. They're not saying, okay, let's pan this way, or let's try. Even the actors are tired. Everybody is drained.
So the A game is already lost.
Yes, you're not getting the lines. Like, when you see everybody I'm a producer and an actor, so I feel for my investor. I also feel for my actor. I try to balance it. You understand? So if I see that, okay, this scene is very, very technical, I don't put it on days where we have a lot to shoot. I'll probably put it on the days we have just 5 scenes.
So that you have enough time.
Enough time to do whatever. If you're not getting the angles right, if you're not getting the lines right, everybody has time.
There is something I observed, and I keep wondering how these big Hollywood producers get away with it. I do have my own hypothesis about what might be their reason for doing the things that they do the way they do them. Take, for instance, James Cameron would do one movie in maybe 5 years. And in Nigeria here, in 1 month, in 1 month, I repeat, in 1 month or in 3 weeks, somebody has done like 4 movies. Why is it like that? For those of us here, we know that we have, some harsh realities we have to deal with in terms of funding. Those people where they do movie once in 5 years, how do they survive? Is this something to do with the different environments and the different systems?
Of course. Okay, so first of all, most people making films in Hollywood, they are passionate.
Are we not passionate?
Most people making films here, unfortunately, it's just for survival. A lot of people dabbled into it just because there's no job. A lot of people dabbled into it just, because they are pursuing something. The funny thing is, while I was abroad, I was doing some like little things, so I could save up money because I wanted to come back here and do what I was passionate about.
What prompted you to travel out? Did you just travel out because of filmmaking? Wait, pursue you come out.
They pursue me, They pursue me.
What was the
See, when I wanted to enter Nollywood was immediately after my secondary school. So I came to Lagos 2005 and I was like, hey, fresh, I'm passionate. I don't do my art, I want the art, So when I came,
so you're one of those who wanted to go act with
terrible. Yes, it was my childhood crush. Story for another day.
Hey.
So I came, I was so, eager. After I don't watch many Nollywood films, see, they'll just catch you for road, just give you your breakout role, but you don't turn celebrity. I came and it wasn't that I won't mention names, but the things I heard, you will never make it if you don't submit. See, when people come out and tell you, no, there's nothing like sex for it's a lie.
About that, I'm coming. Before we started this episode, I was telling you off camera that there are some interesting questions I want to ask you. And you have an idea of where I'm going, and I'm going to ask you that question right after this break. It's still Late Night Conversations, and I'm still here with Lady D. We're talking production and where we went wrong with the productions we do in Nigeria here. Don't go away. Late Night Conversations will be right back after this break. All right, welcome back. It's still Late Night Conversations, and this is where you get all the juicy gists about your celebrities, their grass to great stories, and pick the lessons that you want to pick. Of course, if you're looking for a rat, you'll find one. So feel free to learn the things that you want to learn. All right, it's still Late Night Conversations. My name is Kamos, and I still have with me my guest, Lady D, Dolly. All right, we're talking about why you jackpot out of Nigeria and went to study film things there, and now still had the audacity to come back to this country because that's where a lot of us out there have personal grudges against you. You had the opportunity to leave this country and you came back. What an effrontery. So tell me about it. You were telling me the things you were experiencing while trying to play in a movie. People telling you can never make it, you can never blow like the video. How did you pull through that stage?
Well, when I tried fresh out of secondary school, it didn't work out. A lot of things. So I went to school. I went to Uniben because I said, okay, maybe after school I'll become, bigger. And while I was in school, of course, I had like this opportunity to join a film house. We registered everything.
Oh,
the person knowing himself. I registered.
Really?
Me and my friend.
The gist is coming.
We registered. And then I remember during the audition they had, I was there, and then the person was like, if you know you're beautiful, come this way. If you know you're not beautiful, stay this way. Me, I don't know where I belong. I shall stand one place. They say, if you know you're beautiful, come here. If you're not beautiful, I say, to be on the safe side, might go where beautiful no day. They say, you are beautiful, now come here, John. You're trying to be humble. See, follow here. I say, really? Okay, sir. I enter. Back. They give us
script to read.
Where we read. We read finish. You're very good. Your diction is nice. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you, sir. And then they took our numbers. We'll call you guys. Only for me, like 10 p.m. I lived in Ekosodi. If you went to school around Benin, you know Ekosodi. They don't play. So if you're there outside by 10, now you know who they find. So this person calls me by 10 and is like, he calls me by 10 and is like, come and collect your script. And I'm like, sir, he said, come to GRA. So from Ekosodi to GRA, it's quite a distance.
Yeah.
So he was like, come to GRA and collect your script. I'm like, sir, it's late. Don't be there when person know they drive now. Like, before you, even if you're taking a cab, it's still quite a distance.
Yes.
And then I thought about it, very risky, very risky. I thought about it. By the time I would go, and then 12 minutes, I want to enter house.
So you're just going to collect the script and sleep.
So I was like, sir,
act the movie and wake up.
Exactly, thank you. So I was like, sir, it's late though. I can't come by this time. Let me come in the morning instead. I was like, you're not serious. You're not serious in this business. Anyway, no problem. Call me tomorrow. The next day I call for you, no answer. Fast forward 2 weeks later, same person calls me and he's like, oh, I'm shooting somewhere in Asaba, blah, blah, blah. I want to give you another opportunity. You can come. I'm like, hey, thank you, Jesus. back. Then things were cheap. Things were, from Benin. I think I used to take like 800 naira to get. Yes. So, and my house, I'm from Ogwashuku. So, I'm like, hey, thank God, let me even see my mom. Yeah. So, first thing I did, I went home, dropped my bag, and then I took a bus, I think 100 naira to Asaba. And then he sees me. I had like my wallet. I love wallets. I had just my wallet and my phone. And he's like, where is your handbag? I'm like, sir, I don't need handbag now. My house is not far. Once we finish it, I'll go home. Like, you're not serious. So, you cannot make it in this industry. Why are you acting like a child now? I said, sir, I don't understand. I said, that's when he now came out open like, that's the kind of your big yash up and down. That's the kind of your big yash up and down. Well, wait till they worry you. Say, if I behave like small picking, you don't get sense.
So it's actually another kind of movie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, comparing that time and now, I'm going to the question I said I was going to ask you. Comparing that time now, what God cannot do does not exist. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Now, the female filmmakers are doing way better.
Yes.
In terms of wealth than the males. Please, do you have the mathematical formula to explain that phenomenon? Because problem day. Kunle Remy was speaking in one video.
I saw it.
Yes, you saw it. He said that he's playing lead role, and he sees his junior colleague, that is a lady that is just starting, will now drive in with this Range Rover or Benz and ask Kunle Remy to park his 2K one side. So now, what is that thing that the male folks are not doing right? Because everybody wants to make it in this industry.
Okay. I will speak from my own experience. Wow. I don't know about other people. I don't know about other ladies.
That's the disclaimer.
So for me personally, I do a lot of things.
Yes.
I'm a writer, number 1. I'm an actor, number 2. I'm a producer, number 3. I'm an executive producer.
Great.
Plus, I own a business. I sell clothes, shoes, bags.
Yeah.
I was doing that right from school. So if I'm doing all these things and I'm hustling, aside that I still a pursue contract to 1 or 2. Do you get? I don't sit still. I'm a workaholic. I love working. If I'm not working, I get depressed. So if I'm doing all these things and I'm not seeing money,
and you're cashing out.
Do you get? You can't compare me with somebody who just
does
acts. If you're only acting, I'm sorry for you.
Yes.
Even while I was in film school, but that's the thing. When you go to film school, they open your eyes to a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Before I went to New York Film Academy, I did not plan to dabble into any other thing. Yeah. All my focus, I'm just going to act and become the biggest. But when we got there, we had this
reality setting.
Yes, they're doing business of acting. They taught us so many things, and we had this guy, Seth Rogen. So he was like, I asked him a question. I said, how did you make it? Because he's not the typical American sweetheart. Do you understand? He's not the typical leading man. But he said what he did when he came into Hollywood was he was writing, he was producing, he was acting and doing a whole lot of things.
Same time.
So somebody else asked, my colleague was like, okay, so what if you cannot write, you cannot produce, you can't do any other thing for acting? He said they make friends with people who can do those things. That way, they are constantly thinking of you when they are writing. They are casting you when they are producing. Do you understand?
But I have people in this industry who, as guys, some of my colleagues, they've written, produced, they've acted, they've even repaired watch, pushed wheelbarrow, did conductor, did everything, and yet, when they buy recharge card for babe, somebody will buy them iPhone, then there's a problem. I understand that everybody has his hustle, everybody have their hustles. But of course, you know where I'm going. I know that there's this notion in industry. In fact, somebody is even saying recently on a trending video that ladies sometimes do certain things just to be seen and just so that they can sell their market more. And then you now have some NGOs who protect the rights of ladies and all of that come out to accuse some media organizations or some industries for sexualizing ladies. But then you see the ladies being the ones sexualizing themselves, as claimed by some of our brothers in the industry. So I don't know what your take is about that sexualizing themselves to get seen, and then from there they just go off the radar, and the next thing you see, they are doing the next birthday party in a Range Rover, in a Benz.
Okay, see, it's an individual thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like I said before, it depends on what you want. So, if you're hustling and doing all these things and you're buying a girl recharge card and she's telling you somebody bought her iPhone, you won't let her bother you when you know how much you're struggling, how much you're trying to.
You go bother me.
And see, you don't just say, oh, because you've written one. Do you know how many scripts I've written?
Yeah.
Consistency. You can't produce one film and say, oh, do you know how many? No. If I tell you how many films I've produced in my short, I just joined Nollywood fully 2017. And that 2017, after my first film, I almost died. I almost died of heart attack.
Because of the Wahala.
Oh my God, it's a different ball game out here. All my preparation in Hollywood, it didn't prepare me for Nollywood. Oh my God.
You won't see us coming.
You won't see us coming,
That's how we
They
roll
nearly
around.
killed me. I actually paid somebody to give me a cot.
Yeah.
And he took me to one dead hotel.
Oh,
In fact,
with rats and roaches.
when we got there, I just started crying. Because I was looking at my money go down.
But do you think with the experience that we have or amass in the industry in Nigeria here, when those of us who have gone through all of these hurdles get out there, do you think we will do better?
Oh, yes. See, before I went, I traveled abroad to school. I used to judge Nollywood films a lot.
Yes.
In fact, I don't think while I was in uni, I've ever watched a full film.
Okay.
As soon as I grew up, I had sense. I knew that they were doing rubbish. So anytime I'm watching Nollywood, I have my remote. Fast forward, back.
Yeah.
I go condemn. When I was there, I was like, see film now. Even our student films here. Until after that, my first experience, I shut up. I zipped up. We are doing so well. If we had the resources they have,
Yes.
oh my goodness.
So even if we're doing certain things the wrong way, it is because of where we are. And
there is
our
a reason.
Yes.
See, our producers, we go through a lot. You might be watching the movie and you're like, why did they end it here now? You know, not saying while they were shooting that film, maybe one of the leading actors don't verse go say no act again. Written producer good after you've spent millions.
Shooting.
You have to find. I've rewritten so many scripts on set because the actor walked away. When they gave me a dead hotel for a courtroom, what do you think I'll do? They were like, oh, let's strike, we'll come back later. When I calculate how much I've spent already, I already dipped into my savings. I had to rewrite my script there. So I moved from court and I went to a conference room. If you read the story and then you watch the film, you're like, but this thing should have been like this now. How did they not do? There's a reason. And then you come to our actors. Nigerian actors are some of the best actors I've ever worked with. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Because the conditions
around it.
Oh my
Our
goodness.
realities here.
Oh my goodness.
Over
there,
things to deal with.
If we have to act, we'll rehearse and rehearse. And you're like speaking, you have an acting coach teaching you, language coach.
Are you serious?
Of course. But here, they give you this. In fact, they might call you, you're on set today. Be there by 7 o'clock. Okay, bye. And then you come on set, that's when you're seeing the script. And then you're gisting, crew members everybody is making noise. And then the moment director says action, you have to get into character.
Wow.
No, we're good. Because if we had the resources they have, oh my God.
Talking about what do we do wrong here, or where did we go wrong in terms of production? You agree with me, and just as my guest said, that we have a lot of realities to deal with. You're dealing with light issues, and you're dealing with survival, you're dealing with traffic and a whole lot of things, and you still have to make a living out of that passion that you've always had. We're still discussing movies, production, the comparison between what we do here and abroad from her experience. It's still Late Night Conversations. Don't go away. The conversation continues right after this break. Hi, and welcome back to Late Night Conversations with Kamos. And I've been talking with my guest, Lady D, a filmmaker, producer, actor, and a businesswoman. She has a lot of caps on her head and she's been making a lot of money. So when you see her buy Benz, please, she did not do those extra fellowship that people do. She's sweating it out and getting it the right way. We've been talking about the things that have been going wrong in Nigerian movie, and I'm sure if you joined us from the beginning of the show, you must have heard when she mentioned that if Nigerian actors travel out of this country, they will do so well, considering the things that they've had to deal with while struggling in the industry. Yes, Lady D, we're talking about the challenges that we deal with, and yet we still excel in them. And I was going to ask you, the things that you've had to deal with at your starting point. And it's even a good thing that you got the opportunity to even travel out, to go and learn more and train in this area where your passion lies. So at what point would you say you had to rethink your decision to be sure that this is what you really want to do? What happened at that point?
2017.
The way she said that, 2017. Is it about the hotel issue again?
No.
Oh, there's another one.
So, before I left Nigeria, I love this country so much. I'm one of those people that will say, oh, I love Nigeria. In fact, when I was abroad, I can't wait to come back to my country.
Do you still love?
Hell no.
Okay, you don't love?
No, I don't.
So let's go back to when you come.
Yeah, then Nigeria broke my heart. Like, I don't even want to cry. Honestly, Nigeria broke my heart. So
I'm sorry on behalf of Nigeria. So tell us, how did they scatter your heart?
Okay, when I came back, when I wanted to come back, everybody in my family, oh, don't come back. What are you coming back to do? I told them, I'm coming back to pursue my dream. I'm a dreamer. Everybody there, don't come back. I said, I will come back.
And you finally came.
I came back. And then I had my return ticket to go back while I was coming. Yeah, I had my return ticket. And then I was here and I was like, no, I'm going to make my film, blah, blah, blah. And I made the film. That's why everything I went through, I still made the film. Editor showed me when.
2017. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out who was leading us that time. But don't worry, I know.
Oh, we all know. Editor showed me Pepe. I was, in fact, because of my editor, I couldn't go back with my return ticket. I wanted to see it through. I don't give up.
Okay, you wanted to finish that production.
Yes, I must finish it.
Go back with that.
Yes. But I couldn't. So I stayed back and I'm like, you know what? And when the movie comes out, I'm going to sell it, make money, and then I can be traveling whenever I want. I can make another film. Blah, 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 blah. After all the stress, I couldn't sell that film. It was rubbish. Even me,
So
I can't watch that movie. Oh, not just the editor, the production itself was terrible.
you were the producer?
I was, but I didn't know what I was doing. Because when I came, I had a friend who was already in the system. So I needed her to put me through. Because when I came back, she was like, no, that system there is different from our system. Okay, let's start from pre-production. I was taught that pre-production is everything.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, it takes years. You said something earlier about James Cameron and why they make just one film.
Yeah.
It takes them
years of preparing.
Yes. A script can take in fact, there was this movie Seth Rogen did.
Yeah.
Something about food. Cartoon, they used food. It took them 9.5 years to make that film.
So who was paying their bills and feeding them and their families in that 9 years?
Of course, that's why you have other hustle. You can't just see film. We're different from the average 9 to 6 person. When you're passionate about something, you have to give it everything. So while you're giving it that thing, you have to have other means of survival. If you're not from a rich home that, okay, your parents will be footing your bills. I mean, have side hustles, have things you do. I've done a lot of things. I've worked as a security guard. I've done so many things. Oh, yes. While I was trying to save up for my dream.
You don't have muscle.
Forget, is it my muscle? I have muscle. I used to work out a lot. Not be now why I don't fat. I used to really, I worked as a security guard for a year. I used to, do a lot of stuff. I started selling when I was in 200 level. Started selling clothes, shoes, bags, everything.
So to support
yourself
while aiming for that dream that you were doing for. Okay.
So imagine after everything, and I come back home, and even while we were shooting, I kept telling them these things are wrong. First of all, we didn't even start planning on time. What are we doing? They're like, don't worry, even if it's tomorrow we're shooting, we can do everything today. I said, okay. After that film, I couldn't sell it. Even me, I couldn't watch it. It was that bad. So I lost everything, and
your ticket,
including my ticket. And I was like, I was stuck.
Finally stuck like the rest of us.
And I'm like, what do I do? I was just thinking and thinking and thinking. And then thank God for a few good friends. I was able to get some funds, and then I just opened my boutique and just say, you know what, let me just stay in my boutique and just be selling and be feeding myself at least. And then while I was there, a few people who worked on my project, they loved my script. So some of them were like, you're a very good writer. Write for me now. I said, no, I don't want to be writing for anybody. My plan was Tyler Perry. I want to be writing for only myself, producing for myself, and Nigeria will humble you. So
when
on
did
the
you
side,
from there?
that 2017, after everything, I went through, I had like 3 months of depression.
Wow. Was it that intense?
Yes, I was really, really depressed to the point of suicide. Yes. So like I lost everything. I lost hope. I didn't want to start from the scratch again, and people will be telling me, oh, come to this hotel. That was the whole point of me going outside. So yes, I wanted to come back big, because this person told me, you will never make it if you don't open up to me. He told me to my face, you're going to have a son for me. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
No. And he was mentioning this, this person did it. I'm like, God forbid. Me, I don't have the strength. Do you get? And it's like, that your boyfriend, where you give him, he better pass me.
So he just wants to charge his battery and still have receipts.
Obviously. So I didn't want to go back to that moment in my life, because then it didn't pay me so much, because I had plans, So now I've gone through that plan and I'm back. What do I do? Do I now go back and start doing menial jobs again? I don't want to do that. Filming makes me happy. That's what I love to do.
Through that, like 3 months, you said?
3 good months, yes.
How?
September, October. My flight back was supposed to be September 3rd.
Yeah.
So because I couldn't go back from that September, October, November, it was hell.
Weren't there like relatives, caregivers who could help you get distracted?
I know I seem like I'm not the most open person. In fact, in my family, amongst my friends, I'm the one who they talk to. I'm not used to telling them my own problems, because when I call my friend, oh, how far, they start telling me their struggles. There's no room for me to voice out. Yeah. And I'm always kind of like the life of the party. So when you see me, I'm always happy, laughing.
Yes.
You can never tell something is wrong with me. Even my friend who used to live with me at the time, she didn't know what I was going through. When we come out to the living room and we're watching movies, I talk, and as soon as I go into my room, I will cry my eyes out. I stopped praying. Like, it was intense.
At what point did you start picking up the pieces?
So from that 2017 December, a friend of mine in Abuja, Sam, God bless you, he sent me money for Christmas, and so I just, what will I even use this money to do? I kept it. So like friends, a few family members here and there, and then let me just start my boutique. So by January, I started the boutique. Now 3 or 4 months into the boutique, I still wasn't happy. Yeah, I wasn't. Yes, I didn't plan to come here and be sitting down and just be customer, come and buy. Sometimes I'll stand on the road and be calling people to come and shop in my boutique just so I make a living. So luckily for me, this director friend of mine, who one of the crew members that worked on my previous set had introduced me to, he was like, oh, I need stories. I'm always shooting. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll be giving you stories. How much was it by my story? 40,000.
It's 40,000. You started well now. You started well. I know somebody who they will tell her they tell her that your story we're going to pay you 5K. Guess what? That 5K she needs to see Sam. Yeah. So you started.
First of all, do you know how much a semester in my school costs? Like I said, when I said how much I spent, that person was like, "You don't use and blow." You can imagine millions. I'm not talking
That
of
was going through your
tickets.
mind when they
I'm not
told
talking
you
of housing. I'm talking of any other thing.
give us an estimate so that we too will blame you here.
Like I said, millions. If I put it in, I mean, then Naira was even still
Yeah.
okay. I left Nigeria when it was 180 to $1.
And you not came back when it was 600.
Exactly.
So you
So while I was there, the good thing, I was like doing one or two things and then sending the money in Naira. I was,
yeah.
so it was a bit.
And you came back and
And then I came back and then, oh dear Lord, you can imagine the depression. So it felt like I was stupid. It felt like I didn't plan my life well.
I'm actually trying to repeat what that guy told you so that you can cry if you want to cry, because how can you spend that kind of plenty millions and by now if you don't blow anyway, to say you don't even blow, say I don't even see you catch.
I'm
So
going
it's
the right way. I am very happy,
nice.
honestly, because from that whole experience, I learned a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
How has that impacted in the recent productions that you've had to do?
So now, after that job, I don't tell anybody to come and co-produce with me. In fact, if you're coming to me as an investor and you tell me, oh, this person is going to co-produce, I look at that person. I'm like, what has the person done before? Let me see it first.
Yes.
I do my own thing myself now.
Great.
And I plan very well.
There's something one of my bosses said to a colleague of mine, and I learned. You know, they say when a person will not gets mama, when another person mama they advise you go learn.
Yes.
My boss said to the guy did something or handled some things that weren't properly done.
Okay.
So somebody went to report to our boss and was like trying to instigate anger in our boss to fire the guy.
Wow.
And our boss said, no, let him make his mistakes and learn.
Yes.
You know, and I learned something there. So for you now, I would take it that you've made your mistakes and you have learned.
Yes.
So what, and I'm sure that's what informed your decision to always check, what somebody's antecedent before you, employ them into your production. Mm-hmm. What other things did you learn from that experience?
So, because it's a good thing I learned from my own experience. I used my own money. A lot of people are not that lucky.
Yes.
They make mistakes with somebody else's money. That's why you see they're arresting so many people.
Ouch.
There's a lot going on, The boss is a very good person. That's why he will say that.
Yes.
Everybody, the average Nigerian will tell you, don't make mistake with my money. Are you mad? So I learned that pre-production is key. Again, I already knew that. But I just,
not like the way
trusted, I trusted this person. Now, I don't trust anybody. If you're telling me, oh, this script is good, I have to read it myself.
Great.
You can't tell me, oh, this script is good. I don't take anybody's word for it. If you tell me, oh, this actor is good, even if he's an A-lister, I want to watch. I want to make sure this person fits this role before I use that person. Because casting, people don't understand that's why in Hollywood they have casting directors different from directors.
Yes. And of course, even in the awards that we see for movies, there's always these days we have
casting directors have a lot of work to do. Because this person is a fantastic actor doesn't mean he can play this role well.
If for one reason somehow somebody told you that we are going to learn some lessons from the investments that we waste, so to speak, would you have still risked that investment?
No.
But then you learned something from it.
I mean, I should have learned from somebody else's experience, not mine.
It would never have been resounding.
True,
like,
anyway.
The one you learned by yourself.
True.
So, and that is the thing. I also learned at some point that God will tell you where you're going, will show you where you're going, but may not show you the road to get there. Because if you saw the path to get there, you will decide to just abandon that.
I wouldn't have even come back. I would have just stayed there.
So now you agree with some of us that you shouldn't have come back.
Yeah, so but now I'm happy I came back.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm happy because money doesn't really fulfill you.
Yeah.
There's nothing like doing that thing you love, and then pray that God helps you. You make a living from it.
So you are happier now.
Very happy.
When we come back from this break, I have more questions for you. So right now we are going on a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be, introducing the box where she picks from some random questions, and we'll ask her just a little bit of hard questions so that this cry where she dey hold back, since she can just manage to cry 2 seed of that cry. All right, it's still late night conversations. If you're just joining us, don't worry, we still have a little bit of fun coming right after this break. Don't go away. If you're just joining us, it's still late night conversations with Kamos, and on today's episode, if you're just joining us, I have my friend, producer, actor, and businesswoman that is very rich. She's been here, telling us a whole lot of things she's learned, the experience she's gathered, in the course of building her way to her passion, which is film making. The lowest points where she felt like just abandoning everything, and those high moments that we are now, that she's happy because she's looking good. When you see her, you see money. So we're going to be talking more just a little bit. If you have missed other parts of this episode, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll communicate to you on how you can catch up. All right. So we still have Lady D here in the studio, and I'm going to be introducing the box that I mentioned before we went on break. So in this box, see how beautiful the box is, and it suggests to you that there is something creepy. Yeah, when you look at it. All right. In this box, I have a lot of papers. So it's called random pick in this segment. So you pick randomly and give me the paper. I'll read out the questions and you provide answers. And please, you're going to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth. Is that understood?
Sorry, am I allowed to plead the fifth?
No. We're going to pick a couple of questions. Maybe we'll do like 25. Out of that 25, I know that 20 will talk about some secret things that you have done. Pick the first one. Just pick, don't worry.
I don't like things I don't have control over.
Don't worry. You can't control everything in life. If not, they will not chop your money. They will not blow your money. If you could turn into an animal, what would it be?
Lion. Lion, straight up.
Why you? I sense violence.
I'm a lion.
Yeah?
Don't cross me.
I sense violence.
I'll devour you.
Now that guy will spoil your movie. Now
No.
I pick the next one.
More.
When we're being 25.
No way.
I pick
Okay.
the next one. See how much you can do before we have to punish you.
All right.
What is the biggest? Rema, what is the biggest lie you've ever told?
Okay. Biggest.
Yes. And just pray that the person you lied to is not watching.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Yeah.
The biggest lie I've ever told.
Don't say it loud. Whisper.
Okay. When the first time I applied to the US Embassy, I was denied. When I got home, I told everybody in my family that they'd given me visa.
Hey!
And they believed me. So what I did, as soon as they denied me, I came out. I was like, you know what? So from there, I went straight to the embassy, to the bank. I got another, visa. Yes. And then I went to the cafe, applied again. Luckily for me, I got a date for the following week. So as soon as I got home, I just told them, they gave me the visa. And they're like, everybody was happy. My auntie went to do Thanksgiving. Everybody was just jubilating.
And give testimony that what God
yes, so does not
exist.
exist. So what I usually do, then we had this program in church. Every 5 a.m. we'll go to church. So every 5 a.m. I'll go to church. On that Wednesday that I had the next appointment, I went to church first. Yes, morning. From church, I went straight to the embassy. And they gave me. And when I came home, that's when I now told them I actually lied last week. Because I hid my passport. I told them now they've given me this. I should come back in 2 days. I should go to their office and get my visa. My auntie was just like, I'm so proud of you.
Guess this one.
Okay.
So what if they didn't?
I don't know. I have no idea. I probably would have just kept going until they give me.
This one says, what has been your favorite job you've held? Like the favorite job you've ever held?
A producer.
Being a producer.
I love.
Even after
love. I love being a producer.
What interests you about it most?
First of all, I'm a people person. I like bringing people together, and then I love because when I bring people together, I'm paying them. They can take care of their families. So I love giving them jobs to do. You understand? Then I also love bringing scripts to life. I love every aspect of it. And I love the fact that I have control. Like I said before, I love control. So now nobody will come and tell me, you must.
Pick the next one. I nearly pick for you now.
I know. This one always small like this. The question no come.
Okay, this one is not that creepy.
Okay, better.
What is the biggest mistake you've ever made? Don't tell me I'm doing a movie with some guy
No, not that.
What's the mistake?
I don't. It depends. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Okay. Then I want just pick one.
I could say coming back
to Nigeria.
Yeah, because
it's a mistake, Abi. At least we agree on something and finally.
It could be coming back. Hold on. It varies. It could be coming back. It could be working with the wrong people because I did work with the wrong people. If I had worked with the right people coming back.
If you didn't come back, what would you have been doing?
That's the thing. So I think I would scratch that. It wasn't coming back to Nigeria. It was working with the wrong people.
Okay.
Yeah. The first team I worked with, were the wrong people. So that means
we still did not agree on that. Pick the next one.
No, I mean, I still love this country.
You still love this country?
Sadly.
How can you love the country sadly? Don't forget about that sadly part. If it's sadly, all of us are sad. This country, we are generally sad. Like
I still have hope.
Sad
somehow.
Is just like you mentioned somebody's name. The surname should be like sad. Just we are sad. That's general. So it's that part of loving this country that I still don't understand. Have you ever sneaked out of your parents' house to go and do something?
Oh, God. Of course I have. Yes. Many times.
Please, producer, make sure her parents watch this episode.
I'm married now, so they can't do anything.
Hey, you think that's it?
Of course.
So what did you go sneak out to do? It's part of the question.
I did husband house now.
So you don't want to say what you sneak out to do? It's in the past now. God should understand.
I went to see my boyfriend.
All right, let's take the last one before we wrap up on the show. Why are ladies always sneaking out to go and see boyfriend? The other one said that she sneak out to go and see crush.
Yeah.
Have you ever consumed so much alcohol that you passed out?
I haven't.
Then there's the second part of the question. Have you ever been tipsy and what did you do when you got tipsy? The truth and nothing but the truth. The truth and nothing but the truth. And
I remember.
You're a skillful liar, I don't like you.
I'm not lying, truth. So, the first day I met my husband, we went clubbing and I was very high. He liked me. I didn't know he liked me. I didn't like him. And then while we were dancing, he kissed me and
you were high that
In fact, not just kissed me, he really, really kissed. I was actually very high. If I wasn't high, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I'm very uptight.
When you are when you are high, you're now losing the uptight.
Yes.
Sunshine, give me alcohol.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Producer, we need alcohol here.
No way.
It's been an interesting time on the show with you. It's been fun. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Lady D, we'll see you again.
That's so. No alcohol when we see.
No alcohol. Me, I don't even do alcohol. I don't do alcohol. I just do alcohol.
No hall.
No hall inside. I don't do it inside hall. All right, thank you very much, guys, for watching us on this episode, and it's been interesting conversation with the filmmaker, the businesswoman, Lady D, Dolly. And on this episode, I want to believe that if you watched us from beginning, you would have learned a whole lot of things. And I want to believe also that you pay more attention to consistency. Otherwise, you will be blown away by the realities that we deal with in our environment that tend to act like thorns to choke those dreams that we nurse in our minds. I need you to take the things we discuss on this show, the things you learn on this show could just be very instrumental to the success that you are chasing after. It's been an interesting time with Lady D on the show, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for the revelation and the laughter. Some of us out there watching us would like to connect with you through your social media handle, so you just give that out to them to reach out to you on Instagram.
Okay, so on Instagram it's at Dolly Nwaduba. That's it. On Facebook, Dolly Nwaduba. On Twitter, I think it's still Dolly Nwaduba. Not sure.
Yes.
I'm not active on
To
Twitter.
be on the safe side, just follow her on Instagram.
Yes, and Facebook.
And I'm sorry if you want to go to her DM. Sorry, she's taking. And you cannot even sit down with her. I'm sitting down with her already. So if you like, beef me. If you like, beef. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a nice time.
Yes, I had fun.
All right, when we come back, we will be wrapping up on the late night conversations with Kamos. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. It's still late night conversations with Kamos, and this is where we wrap it up on today's edition. I have been talking with my friend, producer, actor, and a businesswoman with a lot of money. I always add that part, and it's been an interesting time. She has dished out a whole lot of points, a whole lot of tips to making the right movie the right way. And then some of the mistakes you should avoid, because someone like her has said it out. She has experienced that mistake. She has mentioned it here. So you don't have to do the same mistake. You need to excel in the same craft if you are in the same industry. All right. My name is Kamos. You can follow me on social media handle at Kamos_Michael, and follow our platform on all social media handles as well to see maybe clips from past episodes that you must have missed. The next episode promises to be interesting with another interesting guest like Lady D. You don't want to miss it. Please stay connected on our social media handles so you don't miss it. You get prompt updates of all our episodes as they come up. It's bye for now on today's edition. Bye.